Hey guys, Tom here. I hope you're well and enjoying the winter. Thankfully, the weather is starting to pick up a little bit because my god, it has been rubbish for riding here in the UK the last couple of weeks. And I actually got caught out the other day when I was coming back from London in the snow. So had my first experience riding in the snow. I don't have any pictures, any videos, sorry, of my snow riding because, in all honesty, I was pooing my pants, worried about falling over. What I did do, I got a picture of me when I got back home, which I'll put up here somewhere. Absolutely covered in snow. I had loads of frost all over my gear as well, and the front of the bike had loads on it. It was quite an interesting experience. I would say not one that I want to really repeat, but luckily at the time I had a few things which made it more bearable, one of which being the subject of this video today, my heated grips, which are these ones here, the Oxford heated grips, which I've had on my bike for, I don't know, 4 months now, and they are absolutely brilliant. So what you have on them is you have a number of heat settings from 30, 40, 50, 75 and 100%, and it provides a lovely amount of heat through the grips, which keeps your hands warm. I mean, you know, there's not much more to it. I mean, I suppose the question is, do they work, yes or no? And 100% they work. They're lovely, and I've had a few people that I've met who don't have heated grips, who have then had a feel of them to see what they feel like, and each time they're like, oh wow, I didn't realise they would get that hot, and then they're going to be off to get them themselves. So really quite good. The only thing that they're not going to heat really is the tips of your fingers, which when it is really cold and your hands are wet, then yeah, my thumbs that sit out at the bottom do get a little bit cold, but that's the only part of my hand really that's I'm having trouble with, and that's also, you know, when I'm riding in, I don't know, 4 degrees or less. So, you know, not really a problem. That's 4 degrees or less when it's wet as well. So generally, if it's at 1 degree, I'm pretty comfortable with the gear that I wear, and my gloves and my heated grips. So yeah, fantastic purchase. What I'll do is I'll pull over in a second and do a video of how I've wired them up. Well, when I say how I wired them up, a mate helped me wire them up, so big shout out to Greg who helped me do that, and I just watched and learned and passed him things when he needed it as he explained exactly what he was doing. So hopefully I'll explain it correct. If I haven't, I'll make a I'll put a comment, I'll write something in the description explaining it in a little bit more depth. But anyway, I hope you're well, and I hope, like me, you're looking forward to the weather picking up, which it is, so we'll be able to then go on a couple more ventures and have a bit of fun. Anyway, catch you soon. Cheers guys, bye. He nearly pulled out on me, but he didn't. Okay, so here are my heated grips. So we've got the right one here, left one there. So first thing about them is the way you pick them. They're all the same, but you've actually got different styles in terms of the texture here. I went for the sport one because it has a bit more contact on it, and I just wanted a better feel, whereas some people might prefer the tourer one. You may need to cut them to get them on, but cutting them off on these ends is absolutely fine. Cutting a little bit of length down, which we did on this side, didn't have to do it on the other side, which is good. You then got your controller, which I mentioned. Now this has an automatic off on it, so you can wire it directly into the battery. However, I'll show you how I've wired it here, because I was a bit worried that if they did then just stay on, they could drain the battery and that could be a problem. Even though they've got something which stops that, I figured might as well be safe than sorry. So one thing to start off with, you may notice on this one, it's upside down. I did that because if you look at the way the cable's going there, I'd rather it going that way as opposed to coming out under this way and putting the cable around there. It's just a preference for me. I found that really worked. So here we have the left one on this side. One thing to check as well when you're putting these on is if you pull the brake lever, pull the clutch, sorry, and make sure that that is actually got its clearance, because if this bit is around too much towards the front here, then that's going to cause a problem and you won't then be able to pull it. In terms of the wiring, I've taken the seat off, so I've gone from the 2 connection points on the battery into a 5-pin relay here, which I'm pretty sure my mate wired up for me. Well, we did it together, but he understood it a lot better than I did. I think we did it to the front headlight. Then went into a little fuse, so 30 amp fuse, and then that wire then going back up. Now with the V-Strom, if you do it on this bike, I think some videos I looked at said you're going to need to take the tank off. We didn't need to take the tank off, which saved a lot of time. Instead we just fed a long stick down through there, you can actually see where the wires are, well, a long bit of cable through, and then gradually just passed the wires back and forth, which worked really nice. So yeah, can I flip this camera? I can't. So worked really nice. They're fantastic, I'd recommend them. A couple of other things for me, my panniers, absolutely awesome. I had a trip going up north with the panniers on, and compared to the having a backpack on, my god, so much better. Felt much better for the entire journey, and had a lot more, wasn't as shattered when I got there, so a lot more energy. Anyway, hope you're well, and catch you for the next one. Cheers.